Good afternoon all. Been a while since I've put a video out here, but I had a request to put a video over corrosion testing on pipe, and I wanted to show my sample here. I have a pretty well corroded pipe, if you can see, which I think you can. You can also see that there's a hole that I'm covering up here with my finger on the backside. So, got a pretty good, decent little corroded pipe here. Do a little testing on. So, first things first, got to calibrate our machine. So I'm just reading the prompts here. Wipe the coupling off the probe, press 0. Okay, got my probe here. This is a dual element probe, so I'm going to press 0. Okay, I don't need through coat enable right now because I don't have any coating on this. So biggest thing here is have to make sure we are calibrated. So get me a little couplant. Have my 5-step block here, 1/2 inch down to 1/10 of an inch. So first things first, I'm just going to make that connection right there. I'm pretty close right now. I'm going to hit cal velocity. So I go thick standard. It's 1/2 inch. Cal 0. Okay. So we're good there. 1/10 of an inch. Thin standard. Measure. We're within 1/1000th either way. I'd say we're probably pretty good. If I wanted to go back and get that actual 1/1000th back in there, I could go back and I could get the actual measurement of where it is. One of the nice things about what I got going here is I've got my A-scan display, so I'm looking at where my signals are popping up. Okay, 2/10, 3/10. Of course, I'm following these hash marks, so I'm sitting there right on 60%. There I am right at 80%. And then there's the beginning of my signal right there at 100%. If I wanted, I could range that out a little bit further, but I'm not going to be testing anything that's thicker than 1/2 inch. So, with that, really we just go to work now. Biggest thing here is, when I go to test, and I start looking at this, I have to make sure that crosstalk barrier is 90 degrees to the length of the pipe. So, when I place that guy down on there, I'm going to want it to be laying on here like this. Okay? So let's see what we can find here for some thin spots. I'm going to start out on the outside here. See what I can pick up. Maybe we have some decent material out here on the outside. Looks like I'm about 275 thick. I'd say that's pretty close. I'm right at about 1/4 inch. Okay, so I'm going to come up here, 270, get closer up towards the top. Still 260. There's 260. Need a little more coupling here. And of course, as I start to find spots that are thinner and thinner, okay, there's 250, 240. Now I'm having trouble picking up a reading here. And the reason for that is, as I get super thin, like there's 100 thousandths, 0.99, that's not very thick compared to what I had before. So now I kind of hunt around here and find me a thin spot. Okay, there's 140 right next to the hole. You can see my A-scan here is trying to pick something up. So we got to come up with something that'll give us that decent reading. So we might have to hunt around here a little bit, which tells us we have some pretty significant corrosion losses. So in some cases, a little bit of coupling helps. In some cases, a little bit of coupling doesn't help. Depending on what you're actually measuring, some people will actually use different types of couplant. Some people use a little bit thicker. Some people use grease. Some people use actual oil. Some people stick with this couplant, high temperature, depending on where it is you're actually doing that inspection. So it looks like I can get right up next to the hole here. Catch a 250, which tells me I have a pretty thick section right there next to that hole. Right up next to it's a 140. There's a 108, 079 I saw one time, trying to get that solid reading. There's an 081. So I'd take that reading. There's a 115. Some of this could be solved with a little bit of gain. See if I can raise my gain just a little bit. Maybe help me out. And there it came in. 201, 202, 148, 149. And then I make my way back over here to the side again and there I'm at 275. So I'd say, all right, made my inspection, inspected around this hole here. Okay, and of course you can see where the coupling is, where that hole is one more time, right there. Okay, so done all that. Next important step is to, after I've done my inspection, just verify that my calibration hasn't drifted. Looks like I'm at about 503 now, 403. Still right at that thousandth. Okay. So, looks like I had 2 thousandths worth of machine drift. I would say I'm still in that area. Specifically for thousandths of an inch, I wouldn't be too awful worried about that, because lots of times folks don't even want to see that thousandth of an inch. They want to see 2 separate numbers for this measurement. So 0.50 would be what I'm looking at. So any questions there? Feel free to contact me. Of course, my contact information is on YouTube here. And if you have any other requests or thoughts you might want to see out there, just let me know. We'll see what we can do for you. Thank you very much. Have a good day.